Hello and welcome to my channel. For those people who do not know me, my name is Purvaraj and today we'll be reviewing the iPad 10.2 inch. So, it's been about 9 months since this iPad was released and it's actually the best deal in tech right now for just £349. Let me explain to you how and why. So before we start, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the specifications of this iPad. So, this iPad has a 10.2 inch Retina screen display with a 60Hz refresh rate. This is not the best, but for a budget iPad, it's actually pretty decent. The screen is also not laminated like the iPad Pro or the iPad Air, but it is a glass with a little bit of air between the screen and display. Next, this iPad uses the A10 Fusion chipset, which is not the best one right now. Obviously, the A13 is the newest and best one so far. However, it is pretty decent for what you can do on this iPad. Also, as you can see, this iPad comes with double stereo speakers at the bottom, which are pretty loud when you use them. And finally, this iPad has an 8 megapixel camera at the back and a 1.2 megapixel camera at the front. And also, it supports the first generation Apple Pencil. Now, you must be wondering why this iPad is so good if the tech specifications are so rubbish for this iPad. This is why. Look, firstly, let's talk about the camera. People may say the camera's trash. It is, but honestly, no one uses the iPad to take photos when you have a phone with you or just an external camera. So technically, these cameras don't make much impact. But then you might ask, Purvaraj, isn't the front-facing camera important for video conferencing? Well, it is. But the good thing is that every video conferencing app shrinks down your video. So, technically, with a 1.2 megapixel camera, you're still going to get clear face view. Next, let's talk about the display. Although this isn't the best display out there, being a Retina display and only having a 60Hz refresh rate, it is pretty decent. And it's a display which, in all honesty, if you do not have an iPad that's better, it's easy to get used to and you wouldn't regret it. But the good thing about this iPad is you still do get that smooth experience that you get with other iPads on this iPad. Now, let's talk about the battery. You must be thinking that because this iPad is pretty, low budget, the battery must be compromised, right? However, the battery is actually pretty decent. It offers 10 hours of usage with a single charge to 100%, which is great because it can last a whole day. And especially like myself as a student, that's all you need. 10 hours of battery life helps you out from the morning to the evening, taking notes or whatever you need to do on your iPad, like watching YouTube videos or Netflix or something like that. But there is a really big but here. This iPad charges with the lightning cable and doesn't have the USB Type-C port like the iPad Pro, which does mean that when you are charging this iPad, it takes longer. It does not have that quick experience that you would have with a USB Type-C. Finally, let's talk about compatibility. This iPad is great because Apple has made sure it borrows some of its features from its more expensive brothers, like the Smart Connected Dock, which allows this iPad to be connected to the Apple keyboard or any other smart keyboard for that matter. Also, this iPad is compatible with the first gen Apple Pencil, which, although it doesn't stick magnetically on the side or wirelessly charge, is a very good experience when using this. And also, even though it's a lightning port and not a USB Type-C port, you can still add in external drives using Apple's accessories which come with this iPad, which you obviously have to buy, but you get the point. They come with this iPad. And to be honest, if this is your first iPad, the glass display, it's only something you have to get used to, and it's not an issue on a daily basis. Finally, the biggest reason why this iPad is so good for its price is the iPad OS. This legendary iPad OS, which is available in the iPad Pro and the iPad Air and the iPad Mini, is so good that it lets you do a lot of things that you can do on the more expensive iPad, but now you can do it for just £349, such as multitasking or, dragging pictures from like the web browser into your notes with just a single swipe, not copying and pasting it. Simple things like that make this iPad so useful. And because of this iPad OS, I am able to get that same software experience that I would have got with an iPad Pro, but just for cheaper. And these are all the reasons why this iPad is actually a beast for its price. I mean, you're getting great battery, a good enough display, a good compatibility, and the legendary iPad OS for just £349. This makes it the best deal in tech right now. Finally, thank you for tuning in and watching this video. If you like the video, please smash that like button, and in the comments, tell me about your iPad experience. And for more videos, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to put on the bell notification so you get notified every time I drop a new video.